Hey friends, welcome back. Today I am working on week 30 in my 2023 Project Life album. I grabbed myself a few things from the Studio Calico sale. It was a few weeks ago because it has taken a while to arrive here. Let me know if you want to see what I got, but one of the kits that I did pick up was this one here. It had a wooden February in it, and I don't think it's from this year, so I think it's a February from 2022. And you can see why I got this. It's got all my favorite colors in here, so much pink. So it did take me a little bit of time to pick out some cards this week because I was kind of desperate to use all of them. I started off like trying to balance out all the pink that I wanted to use, and then I decided no, I'll just go for all the pink, and then I changed my mind a third time to go no, I want to balance out some of the other colors here. So it takes me a little bit of time to get there. I am on the back side of my 9 3x4 pocket protector this week, so I had a few photos, but I purposefully left myself a spot to add kind of a filler card because there's always so many cute ones in these Studio Calico kits, and I often don't use them because just with this 9x12 format that I'm using, I've got a limited space and I still want to have, enough photos on there. So I don't often have a chance to use the filler cards. I'm covering them up with photos more often than not. So I purposefully left a space, and I love that Live Colorfully one. It works so nicely with this week. There's a lot of color in my photos. And then I did leave a space for a journaling card down the end as well. And so you can see here, I finally got it all balanced. The first thing is that I had to use that pink like cat leaping card next to my kitten photo there, and kind of the rest of it all kind of balanced off there. So I wanted to add a few lighter bits and pieces, hence the Live Colorfully card works nicely because it's got that white background. The journaling card is kind of a creamy colored background, which normally that annoys me, having white and cream together, but I couldn't actually find a journaling card that I liked better, so I've just gone with that one. Now, I couldn't help it. I had to take my haircut selfie and throw those glasses on there because it fit perfectly. It was just too funny not to, even though it sort of hides the haircut, but I don't care. There's enough of my face on this spread anyway. I love a little bit of humor, so that works nicely, having those little glasses on there. There's so many embellishments in this kit, and I kind of got a little bit overwhelmed, to be honest. I'm never a big fan of these like plastic hearts. Do you have a good way to use them? I'm open to suggestions. They're not my favorite thing to use, but I was kind of playing with having some sort of embellishment in the middle of that Live Colorfully card, and I do end up changing my mind about that. I felt like it would be too similar to having that heart in the middle of the journaling card, and the plastic hearts were kind of a different type of heart. They're, I guess, a bit more freeform. They're not quite as symmetrical as the one on the journaling card, so I've just kind of left it for now, and I don't end up putting anything on there anyway. Now that one said, the blue card said no thanks, and it was just because of the way that I had to crop that photo. Normally I would just crop it to like a 2¼ inch square like my other smaller photos. There was no good way to crop that photo into a square because I took it as a landscape photo to show my new filming lights. So there was no good way of cropping it. So I ended up with this really weird sized photo. I just made sure that it was 3 inches wide so it would fit on a journaling card. And luckily it filled up, covered up that sentiment perfectly. I just added a little bit of chipboard to the bottom of it to give it a little bit of visual interest, and then I added another one to my sub sandwich. The title card I kept really, really simple. There was these little alpha stamps in the kit, no numerals though, so I just went ahead and stamped out the word 30. I did prep those stamps first, just with a sand eraser lightly before I stamped them in black ink onto my card. And again, just to add a little bit of visual interest, I've used some of those puffy stickers. It brings a little bit more of those extra colors in there, like there's kind of, it's not really orange, it's not really brown, it's kind of tan, a rusty kind of tan color in one of my photos and in one of the cards that I've chosen. So I did add a little bit of that with the puffy sticker as well. And it needed something else. It looked really empty, I guess, because the card is so light and then there's minimal kind of embellishing on there. I decided that I would add a digital label. This just came from the stash. This is actually one of the ones that I gave away as a freebie this month to my patrons. The blue worked perfectly, so I just popped that in underneath the stamping to put my date stamps onto, but I decided to just do something a little bit different, and I'm going to stamp my dates in pink, making sure that I give that roller stamp a really good clean before I pop it into my ink pad, because I really only use black on there and that thing is dirty. So I got some really clean pink dates on there. Now my spread doesn't end up with a whole lot else on here, but I do run out of battery, so the last little piece of this process does get cut off. I wanted to use the alpha again, and I had this kind of blank space at the bottom of this photo. It was just a little craft market that we went to, and the market was called the Maker Made Market. So I decided to stamp Maker Made onto the bottom of here. I'm using my Moonlight White ink, which is my favorite white ink for stamping. It shows up really well. I struggled a little bit because this is a brand new pad, so it's super juicy. The stamp slipped a couple of times. I just wasn't expecting it, so I wasn't terribly careful, but because of the color of the background of my photo, it just didn't have enough contrast for my liking. Seeing it now on camera, it didn't look as bad. I decided to experiment, since I didn't love it anyway, I decided to experiment with stamping some of that oxide ink over top. It didn't work like I had hoped it would. So I'm just going to go for a major cover up here and just pop another label onto the bottom of here and then re-stamp those words. This time I'm going to stamp them in black ink just to bring a little bit of that darkness back down to the bottom of the page. Kind of ties in the title card again. I can just squeeze it onto this label. So it was a fine enough cover up. And then the only thing I really have to do to the rest of this spread is add my journaling. You didn't get that. My camera battery died and I didn't notice, sorry. I typed it out, my journaling again, and printed it on some of that matte sticker paper. I basically covered the whole card in journaling, which was awesome. I'm obsessed with that stuff. I wish it wasn't quite as pricey as it was. I'm going to add one puffy sticker onto this little card here and then call my spread done. This was such a fun week. I love all this color. I'm definitely at the point of winter where I am craving as much color as possible, and this was just the perfect little fix. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, I'm going to leave a couple videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye!